to crawl across the bottom of my.
Oh, I forgot to put up Twinkle's
over there.
PNG. Yes, we are playing Repo. Prioritize your sleep. Cool on. Go to sleep. Or yes, to go to bed. You went to lockdown like earlier. Yes, I am streaming on one day. Like 2 streams in one day. Hooray! This is not the first time I did it.
Yeah, no, it just.
Yes.
Now I'm awake, but may I just.
Oh no. Yes, we have room for one. No, 2 more, but Kuan. Yes, you can come in, but make sure you go to sleep.
Yeah, go to sleep, or I'm going to throw.
I'm gonna make you sleep.
Throw a wrench at you. You can dodge a wrench. You can dodge a ball.
Just join. Oh, Rika, no, don't encourage him, please.
Rika's going to encourage him no matter what.
Well, we do need more people for
Rika's
Repo anyway. Good players to like Kuan. Also, yes, this is not my true form. I just am using his model for fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're gonna go with yes. Yes.
I was too lazy to use beverages. I was just like, hey, I have this.
Hello, everybody. Honestly, how are we today?
I'm okay. How are you?
Hey, Rika, you should see mine. Do I look dashing tonight?
You look beautiful.
Oh, well, thank you, Ma. It's touching coming from you.
I don't know if I'm loud on my stream. Hold up.
Oh, right. I haven't. Who's hosting the game? Who would like to host the game? That's right.
I mean, any of us can really.
Yeah.
I can if we want.
Sure.
Sure, if you don't, I will.
As long as you have everybody's as a friend.
I think so.
If not, then I can.
Actually, no, I don't think I have Twinkle.
I can. Oh, best computer internet should host, and I have everybody here. Do we want to start a new game or just like
new game?
New game.
Yeah.
All right.
New game.
All right, fine.
Yes.
I didn't expect everyone to get so aggressive about it.
New game.
All right, you all ask for it. Invite to game 1.
I am full of aggression and
2.
angry.
Where's Twinkle? Oh, there you are. Invite to game 4.
Here we go.
And we will be waiting for the 5th one. Who? Okay, let me tell you all this, everybody, including chat. So Kuon was very late earlier, so he might do the same thing tonight.
Yeah, that sounds about right. And we're just gonna. My stream is just gonna have to deal with hearing double. Everyone's gonna hear double for a bit. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Oh yeah, I gotta mute you guys when we're.
Yeah, we're all in.
Yeah, once we get Kuon in, we'll do the stuff with the things and the fun.
Guys up just a little bit. There
okay.
You go. Or let's put you on my side. What do you guys prefer? Do you guys want to be on the left side, or do you guys want to be on next to me?
It depends on you, Rika, really.
Oh, honey, I always want to be next to you.
Hell
yeah. You're not next to me. You're always you're gonna continue being by Haru and Twinkle.
Damn.
Honestly, that's fair.
Yeah.
Wait,
so everybody,
Welcome,
I was
hang out.
really debating on either playing Repo tonight with all of you, or playing Marvel Rivals and asking Twinkle to 1v me with MVP spots.
Why would you actively embarrass yourself like that?
Yeah.
Listen here, Buckaroo. I can square up.
No. Rika, I need you to understand. You're good. You are good. But as long as I'm around, you'll always be second best.
Damn. I know exactly how. Damn, as soon as you can.
I'm not questioning your skill. You're good. I recognize how good you are. That should be enough for you.
Damn. That's smooth.
But he's just like, I'm better. I am better.
I know, right? He's just gonna say I'm better.
Look, I'm just going to say
I'm better. I am better.
of history, and history has determined
Oh, right, I need to mic going.
I'm up there.
I am the creature of the night. Oh, could she ever love me right?
There you go. There you go.
When I am only half a man.
Maximum.
'Cause I'm a half a whore, half man.
Maximum.
What? Alright, everybody's in, so we can mute everybody on the Discord so we don't have
Yes.
the doubles.
Twinkle. This is Twitch. Are we all ready?
Hold on, wait. I gotta mention for the people back at home.
Okay, now that Rika did it, I know that I can do it.
Alright, we're going.
I'm arriving.
Everybody, this is Twitch. We have to totally say so.
I'm arriving.
I'm dual streaming on YouTube as well, so.
Okay,
Well,
señores, vamos para.
Why? Why are you orange?
Yes.
Oh,
What, am I not allowed to not be myself anymore? How dare you?
Well, that's me too. You're white.
Bro,
No,
cancel,
not
cancel
away.
horror, bro.
That'll be pretty bad.
Cancel horror, bro.
Bruh.
That's crazy.
Excuse me.
Gateway computer.
I am moving to the location. I'm
Okay,
going
behind
to...
you, Mike, behind you. It's me.
Ooh.
Hello.
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 Oh. Warn me next time. Oh,
Yeah.
it's Twinkle. It's Twinkle. I thought it was Rika. Oh, Rika's a yellow.
The gnomes haunt me.
Oh god.
Yeah, they do that.
You gotta be careful.
I
Get a
can't-
little fucker out of there.
Like Twinkle, you're usually very quiet. I was like, that's why I'm like, oh.
I know. I'm trying not. To. I focus hard in shit like this.
Oh,
Oh,
wait. Careful, I gotta...
we're just very chaotic and stupid.
Oh!
Oh, scary beast.
Wow. Are we just too loud?
Guys, I found a radioactive box of wonders.
Here, I got the fan.
Oh, are you a fan of that?
Hot for the. Oh. Could've warned me!
Could have. Oh, no! Shit! Son of a bitch.
Karma! Bitch.
Motherfucker knocked my goddamn radioactive box of wonders out of the fucking thing. I'm so angry.
It's okay, we'll find some more items. We just got started. Just don't worry about it. We just got started. Not cursed just yet. Okay, I'm looking at toilets. Because I found a diamond in the toilet once. I'm not kidding. Nope. Alright. There's nothing in there. That face. Oh. A bonsai! Everything okay? Oh, I think somebody died.
Are you panicking?
Somebody died. I see
Couple
two
people died.
reds. Let me see. Oh. Well, rip.
Panicking.
Do you know how these two died?
Yeah, they both got eaten by Gary Busey.
The head. AKA the head.
Yeah.
Well, that sucks. Womp womp. Sucks to beat him. Excuse me. Womp womp. Where's
In
my?
the next little while, or it's gonna be
Where's
embarrassing.
my imposter?
Oh, there's another one.
Oh yeah, there is. Because it flew.
No? Oh.
Hi, Seven.
Come along,
What
friend.
the fuck, Seven? That scared the shit out of me. I knew somebody's gonna do that. Nice one. Haha, it wasn't loud enough to jump scare me. Haha. Sucker. I'm glad you paid for it. How you doing, Seven? Not mad. I'm not mad. Don't worry. This is content. Come on, get the heck out of here. You're dead. You're supposed to be silent. You're not supposed to make farties in my channel. Make farts at Rika's channel. Wait, she doesn't have the channel points. Guys, yeah, have Rika become affiliate. Have chat fart in her stream and Twinkle, you alright? Ha! You can't get me. You can't get me. I'm the gingerbread man. Alright, here's my head. Here, I'm gonna put you in the bottom. You're always a bottom. Sussy bottom. Twinkle. Twinkle. My dude. Twinkle. Wait, seriously, the only survivor? Man, I wonder what they're talking about when they're dead. Would be nice to know. Oh, at least some of the dead people are streaming. Oh, I will watch their butt. I like to watch people's butts. I like to stalk people. There's someone else around. Yeah, Twinkle. Hey! Okay, I got attacked by 2 heads. There are 2 heads.
Uh-huh.
And I survived. Oh, I'm 50
Did you pee yourself a little bit?
EP? What?
Did you pee yourself a little bit?
What? Excuse me? Ew. No, I don't pee.
Well, I get scared sometimes.
I shit. I'm kidding.
I shit myself violently.
Well, I found 2 items. Let's see.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff in here.
Yes. My cheeks hurt from laughing earlier. Let me lock. Oh yeah, for anyone, any friends, please get locked down. It's so much fun with friends. Oh, I was
No, motherfucker.
Oh. Oh.
Gnomes are the absolute worst fucking thing in this game if you're playing it.
At least they're easy to kill. Okay, I only see one more small item. Oh. Oh, okay. Hi, Mai. How you doing? By the way, how's everybody doing? We do appreciate everybody coming over at the last minute. Thank you so much. And a bit of a serious note. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. This is very last minute. But you could say it's not really a big deal. There we go.
A couple gnomes jumped in there.
Oh, great.
Yeah, not fun.
Ah, those sons of bitches.
Where are you, Gary?
I think it's... Yeah, it looks like the map is empty. Unless there's any hidden... See something.
Hot fudge sundae.
Oh, delicious. Oh, it's gonna make my mouth come.
Yeah, this is Twitch.
Oh god, yeah.
Not my rules, yours.
Hey, at least we can say some stuff and not too excessive. Oh. Hey. Here, you can grab first.
Heck yes, Batman.
I'll let you grab first. Ooh.
Oh, Gary.
Ooh, that was close.
Gary.
What do you mean by Gary? No, no Gary. Come on, we can't keep the others waiting.
Okay, fine. We'll do it your way.
Well, yeah.
Gary.
Cause, oh, I thought I saw something. I don't think there's anything else. Oh. Fuck you, Gary.
I just want someone to look at me like that.
Fuck you, Gary. Fuck you. Once again, I got lucky again. See, we should go. Okay, come on, let's go. Go, 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 go. Oh, oh, oh. We're going. We're going. I don't care. I'm a pussy. Let's go. Stop. 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 It's going around the entrance. Son of a bitch. If only you have weapons. Sad face.
I swear to God, if I see a fucking gnome.
I'm gonna check the coast.
He's still in
Ooh.
there.
Yep, he's still in there. Coming back.
Gary, nobody likes you in Predator 2.
Hurry up, Gary! My friend's back. Go, go, go. Go, go, go. Go, 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 go. Arise, my friends.
Rise from your grave.
What are the good clothes for that? Come to us.
Ugh.
Oh God, not you, not you. I don't mean these guys. We'll
Oh wait,
protect you-
we
we'll-
need.
Yeah,
He
come
went
on,
to go get water. Oh, there he is.
well, that's his problem. Ooh. Oh shit.
Ow! Why are you throwing shit at me? That's not fun. I can't believe
You
you've
were
done
just,
this.
dude, you were just in the way.
Oh, fuck. I can't believe you've done this.
So what about me getting? No, let me say something now. No, let me just listen. Like, am I a pretty girl?
What do you mean? What do you mean? It's kind of weird
What
that you
the
did
fuck,
that too.
boy?
Friend.
Not even 5 minutes. The chaos has begun. Oh, hey, I was about to get a
Yeah.
tranquilizer. I need
No,
stamina.
no,
I need stamina.
Nope.
Hey, no, put me down. Put me down.
Taking you to the back.
No,
Open the door.
no,
Open the door.
no,
Open the
No,
door.
no, oh wait, I can do this.
Toilets.
I can do this.
Open the door. You can't. Rika, open the door. Open the
No.
door, Rika. Oh!
What the?
Open the door, Rika.
No, I need a fart.
Rika.
I need a fart. I
Hey,
need to
fuck off, I'm doing
fart.
coke in
Oh,
here.
No, you don't. Open the door, Rika. Open the,
I
no,
need
no,
to
the other
fart.
door. Someone's
Oh, no.
occupied. Oh,
What?
perfect.
yeah, help save me.
Excuse me?
Oh
Oh.
no, save me. Save me.
Rika, open. Oh, Rika, open the door. Oh,
Save
someone get the minor, please. Oh, there we go.
Save
No,
me.
no.
I don't want a slushy. I mean flushy.
You wanna?
Ah.
Oh, damn. Oh, Rika.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go. I don't know how you do that.
I'm just too good.
Okay, wait. I don't know who's who. I'm looking on
Why is
Mario Mai. I don't know who's who.
Oh
Like-
shit!
Can someone give me? Can somebody give me stamina? Oh. I'm gonna get.
Let me get this actually.
What is
this? Can someone please clip that?
Hey,
Rico-
yo, who broke all the cereal
Where's the-
boxes?
Can someone please just clip that on my stream, please?
Hey, Rico, hold this.
No. No.
The cereal. Oh, there it is. The sprint
I'll take
speed.
this.
I'll take that.
Oh, I'm gonna need
Which
that, please.
POV? Mine, please.
Okay, where's the
Ow.
stamina? Hey,
Fucking stop.
alright, that's enough.
No.
That's enough, kids. Alright, there's my stamina.
Okay. Wait. No offense. I don't know who's who. I don't know who's
Mine
Maya.
is.
Who is Haru.
Don't step on that.
Who did?
God damn it.
Hey.
Somebody put a stun mine on there, and the stun mines do damage.
Rikas,
chat,
Rikas.
that,
I
please.
wanted to
Rikas.
borrow that.
Somebody
Chat,
clip
please
this
clip
part.
it.
That was
Haru-
that was a good
point of view
time.
in my
Somebody clip
my
that
point of view,
part.
please.
Haru stepped on it and fucking died.
Well,
Okay,
Jesus, that was funny.
that was
Are we
funny.
gonna get an item?
This is what
I
happens
need-
when you're
I
with
need
really good friends and
heals.
chaotic
I
friends.
already
Well,
have the health pack.
ouch, wait.
You can steal health,
Here,
by the
let me
way.
go and
Yeah, wait,
tell
come
them.
It doesn't work for me, unfortunately.
We'll go hang out.
You're gonna hang
I
out
need
with Haru.
stamina, please. Oh, can someone send
Talking
any?
about.
I have to
Can
arrange
someone
her
put
like my
in?
action figures.
Give Haru
It's like,
stamina,
okay,
please.
Careful, don't fall.
No, please.
There
Don't
we
you
go.
There we
dare.
go.
Don't you dare fall over.
Give me stamina,
So
please.
now-
Now we're safe. We're safe.
Bro, I'm
Aw,
about to freaking
it's cute.
safe from the outlaws.
No, get away. Get
Hey,
fuck. Get fucked.
Mine.
Help!
This is
There's
mine
my
now.
help.
Wait,
Help.
what's with my head?
Okay,
I
okay.
think I should
Okay,
change my color
Everybody,
to
everybody,
my
everybody,
color. How about be white?
Haru fresh out of the box.
Can you leave Haru alone? Leave Haru.
That's my head.
Give me the head. Put the head
Okay.
in.
They're
Okay,
all
I'll give you.
abusing
I will-
my head.
No. Alright. Now get out of there before I lock you in there. No. Bad.
Please.
We need. Okay, we need stamina. Haru's requesting stamina. Why do we have
I don't know
this
where
in
the
here?
stamina is. I don't know.
Okay.
Let me see if I can find stamina.
No, that's health.
It's somewhere. Give me stamina, please.
Oh, the stamina's over here.
It's over there.
Hey guys, I have a present for you.
Oh god.
This got really thought. Oh
Why? Oh, hey.
Hi.
Hi. No thanks to you
Hi.
guys. No thanks to you. Hey, Mai, you know.
I did it. I didn't do nothing.
Somebody clip
Somebody put down the mine.
my POV for that. That was pretty funny.
And can
Yeah.
someone clip?
Hey, Mai.
Okay,
Guess who I
y'all. It's
am?
time to get going.
Guess what color
Yo.
I am?
Oh my god!
Beans?
Beans.
Bleached.
Oh, bleach.
Beans.
Oh, I thought you said beans. My bad.
I said beans.
Your bean is
Oh,
colored.
thank you. I appreciate. I
I
really
said
appreciate
beans.
from earlier too, Seven. Thank you so much.
Seven, can you also clip on my end too?
Yeah.
My POV.
Yeah, Seven. You guys,
I
my
threw a shockwave grenade and it was about to go off just as soon.
I got my health back, baby!
yeah, me
I
too.
feel good!
Thank you guys.
Where's
Thank
my
you.
Where's my health pack?
I think
God damn it!
Oh, you didn't buy it.
I
I'm gonna
did.
get my drink now.
I did it from Rick. Oh, yeah. Seven
Wait.
is like the clip editor.
We should have.
Yeah.
Yeah, we put back in there, didn't we? Whatever.
Well,
Oh yeah, best level.
you guys messed up because you guys were fooling around. And
I blame
killed-
Mai.
And
Wait,
killed
I wanna
me.
be- I want to be in.
I
I want
also
to be
blame
in
me.
here.
Disneyland?
Oh.
Hi.
Don't worry, you're still safe.
That was
You're
mine.
still safe. We're still going to Disneyland.
I want to go to Disney. I want to go to Disney.
No Disneyland.
Why not?
No Disneyland.
Don't
Oh,
listen.
I want
don't
to check
listen.
my
You have to get to
controls.
decide.
How do I fart?
That's an ugly ass Mickey Mouse.
Goblin.
I think.
That's a tool.
Oh, there we go. That's how I fart.
This is from Dollar Tree.
I just changed my controls. Here, I'm gonna go to the other room. I hit like a rainbow. Die like a whatever the lyrics are. Ooh! Oh, guys, there's a big one. It's 19 inches and a champagne.
You have to admit that was funny.
I know.
And the fact I actually hit you with it is even funnier.
Oh, sorry.
I'm gonna get the fuck out your way.
Here, I couldn't find the car, so I'm just gonna put it here. I saw a ball. I see a ball. There's a ball. Oh. Oh, here, I'll let you go first. Oh. I'll get the other one. Oh. I like the sound of music.
What's that? Is that Horrors Beyond? Oh, it's the fucking emo kid.
What? Where?
I heard him giggle.
Oh no! Oh, we're simulated. Oh no! I hope your computer's okay. Oh, no way, I don't think it's technical stuff, your mentality. Or the visuals. Take care of yourself.
Ah, there's the emo kid.
Oh god. Don't look at the kid. Don't look at the kid. Oh, excuse me. What? Oh yeah, the keys. Oh shit. Oh fuck. Who's dead?
Careful the huntsman.
Take your time, Seven. My, you son of a bitch. Kefrika. Okay, you kept Rika's. Oh gosh, we're gonna have to pay you for your time. Sorry, but thank you. We do appreciate your time, Seven. For both of us. Yeah, just take your time. We really appreciate your time for us. Speak very quietly. Oh, wait a minute.
Nice. Alright, where's Rika? Did Rika escape or did she get shot and die?
What?
Oh, damn it!
Oh!
Motherfucker!
Oh!
How could this happen?
I was like, what is that sound? Oh, that must be our class.
My thoughts
Wow.
I'm fading away.
I'm sorry.
That was kind of funny. We are all such dumbasses.
Cool. I
Yeah,
was literally
we-
just messing around with the thingy, and then I didn't know that.
Okay, cool.
I didn't know.
The dope shit.
I didn't know. The guy was there, so I was messing around with the time thingy, and then I look around. I was like, "Oh, hi!" Boom.
I'm gonna stretch my legs.
Please stretch.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
Stretch my legs in.
Twinkle and I were messing with the time thing as well.
I was like, what
We
is that
started
sound?
singing in the end.
Oh, it looks like come on VRV'd again. Say, go man!
Yeah.
That's not their fault. It's EST. They're EST. I was like, dude.
Oh.
Bad.
There they are. They're back.
Oh. So.
Yep.
How are you guys
Yay.
doing?
Dead.
Ow.
But
Rika, stop hurting yourself. It's illegal.
No.
I think I should
Yeah.
put down my
No.
overlay down. You should see who's dead right now. There we go. Look at that,
Is he here?
guys. Look how we're dead.
Who?
You know, honestly, I should
It's not-
probably. I should make you guys.
What?
Oh, I was just putting my overlay down
Who's supposed to be?
so that everybody
Oh.
can see the
Yeah,
entire game.
I have to move you guys over
Yeah, I
so
have
that
to
we
move you
can
guys
see.
over too.
I just put my overlay
Yeah.
down.
Well,
No, where's the... Oh, there it is. There we go. There. This game is really good for like streaming. You know, I don't need the overlay.
Yeah.
Yee. There we go.
Awesome.
Alright, let me look. Okay, everyone dead?
God, we're
Oh yeah.
rattle, rattle, rattle.
Rada,
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 rada.
You know
Am I a pretty boy? Am I a pretty boy? Am I a pretty boy?
What?
Am
Say
I a
that
pretty
again.
boy?
Say
Am I
that
a pretty
again.
boy? Am I a pretty boy? Oh, you can't carry me. Can I use my stool for that?
Can I get some back shots?
Alright, fine, I got you. I got you. Alright, both of you. Alright, all three of you come here, I got you.
Okay.
Here's- I got you, I got you.
No,
Okay,
you have
okay,
to do
whoa,
the
whoa, whoa, that's enough,
maximum.
that's enough, that's enough. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Maximum! Maximum!
Alright.
Max nut.
Twinkle's like the
I'm
most
Max-
mature person out of all of us.
I'm maximum pulse on.
Honestly, I was so tempted to do the It's Wednesday stream.
Everyone needs a party pooper. That's why they invited you. Party pooper.
There's something up there.
Yeah, but we can't reach
I
it.
can't. I never say never. Never say never.
Well, it's okay. Here, Twinkle went this way.
Never say never.
Back shots,
I will
DMV.
try.
Hey yo.
Back shots, DM. Hey yo.
Hey yo, 7, let's go.
Never say never. Okay.
What is it?
I don't know. Where is everybody?
Oh, it should be right here. Right.
Oh fuck.
It's a baby. What the heck damage you mean? Oh,
I hit you by accident.
oh you.
Look down.
Look
I
down.
have looked up.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Hi,
Hi.
hi. Oh, wait, we just look at each other. Okay, will that work? Will that work?
Am I a pretty boy?
I thought I'd go up there already.
Okay.
Oh, yum yum. Alright, there's a
Yum,
baby. Look there, there's a baby.
Hey, I have class again.
Where's the cart at? No.
Am I a pretty boy? Am I a pretty boy?
It's up there. It is right up there.
No, 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 no. Oops.
Nah, hold on. No. Peekaboo.
Oh, hi. Sorry, Togo.
Oh, don't worry about it.
We don't want no babies around.
You sure?
Oh.
Hang on, I got a small item. Small item coming in. Whoa, whoa, hey.
She hit me in the face.
Oh, come on. You were in the way.
You hit me in the face. How dare you? Can't
Well,
forgive them.
that's because you were in the way.
You know what they say.
That's what they all say.
Uh-huh, sure. Alright, you know what, chat? Clip that and I'll send it to my... I have evidence that they went in the way.
Oh, hey. Hi, Enderman. That's cool.
Blind guy. Blind guy.
You're good.
Puta.
The fitness gram pacer test is a multi-stage aerobic capacity test.
The fitness gram pacer test is a multi-stage aerobic capacity test.
You son of a bitch.
It's cutting out so badly on my end.
Bad timing, Rico, bad timing. Will you be my CH?
I have no idea.
No, baby. Stop. Stop.
I
We don't want any more babies here. We don't want babies, okay? Are we ready? Oh, the baby. I mean, the baby. The money is very. Hey, are we ready?
Yeah, we're ready. Let's go.
Alright, ready, Freddy?
Oh my god, don't. You made me feel old in
Run,
one
run,
singular
run.
second.
One for your life.
Run?
Run.
We're leaving. We're
If you
leaving.
were born before 1944, you're older than Google.
Yeah.
We're leaving.
Well, I'm not, so thankfully. I might be old as dirt, but I'm not.
Shut the fuck up! Hey, it's a blind guy. Nice.
Hey, Pelo Man!
Who died? Did somebody die?
Oh my god, you guys.
It's the emo kid.
Shit. What?
Shit, the fucking Enderman.
Messing with emo kids.
I'm not going back. Oh. Move it!
You didn't say please. I don't like that.
I didn't look at it.
Oh my god, he was coming right at us.
Did?
Do you know how lucky we all are?
I have no idea. I'm at full health.
No, like, I'm creating a clip on my stream right now. I didn't look at the bastard.
Oh my god.
Dibs on a strength
that-
upgrade.
Nah, oh yeah, yes, we need a strength upgrade. I
Oh,
need
yes,
some.
and some sprint.
I need reassurance for myself.
more.
I'm taking these.
We're gonna
I
get another
need
stamina upgrade.
this. I need
Oh.
this. I need...
Do we have a tranquilizer gun? No, that's pretty useless. Ooh, rubber ducky. Ooh, a sword.
I think it's well.
It's a sword.
I'm posting that in my chat. I didn't look at that bastard.
Oops.
That's fuck.
Hello, motherfucker.
Well, hello, Rico. What are you doing? What are you doing with my channel voice?
I need help.
Well, you'll eventually get one. I'll just abuse it. I'll abuse it.
That I give you abuse.
I wonder if there's a.
I give you abuse rights.
Help me out.
All right. Whoops. Yeah,
Alright, hang on.
I need
I got
a
this.
cart. Here you go. Here, you extra height. Yeah, can you do some purpose?
Ow.
they started screaming and all that,
I'll
so
help you
I
out. There you
dropped
go. There you go.
Ow.
Rika, what are you doing? Are you playing with yourself?
I was playing with the sword.
Oh, hey, Ayo. What?
Ayo.
Oh,
Ayo. I need help. It doesn't work on my
Hi.
Twitch.
Ow.
Anything good?
Nope.
Ow.
Cool.
God damn it. Fucking stop.
Where's my...
No.
Oh, when
Can
did
you
you
put me down?
when did you get
Can you say
down?
please?
Where's Twinkle?
Say please.
I don't know.
Please put me
Where's
down.
Twinkle?
Okay, you say so nice.
Where's Twinkle? Did they take a tinkle? Put up.
Where's? That's. Oh, so yeah, there's nothing up there. Yeah. Okay, make you silly.
Unless they crashed.
No, they're in the corner. They're in their happy
Um,
spot.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
You just chilling.
I'm nice and safe, dude. Everything's easy. So
Oh, I
far.
thought you crashed. That'll be bad.
No, man.
Yeah,
Everyone's
look-
like trying to like throw bear traps and shit on all
No,
Okay,
we're not.
Twinkle, if you didn't hear that, hey, where's Twinkle? Is he taking a tinkle?
Ah, tape corrupted.
Why do I feel like he's like, I'm gonna kill her now?
I know, right? I can tell by your tone.
He's like, oh, damn.
Alright, everybody ready?
Oh, is he off having a thinkle?
Oh, Thinkle with the
Alright, ready,
wrinkle, it's
Freddy?
a
Everybody's ready,
bro.
Freddy?
Let's
Yeah.
go.
I'm ready for
Yes.
Freddy.
Anyways, let's go.
Ready? Alright.
Whee! Oh,
That was a good leap.
If you in my head, I want to ruin this glitch. I got my health back. Thank the Lord.
Good
Anyways,
for you. Okay, there's 25.
think
25. Oh, I have 50.
that's-
Oh, whatever,
this
it's
is
fine.
mine.
Oh, yeah, that's mine.
So
Who's got
And
the
think not.
lowest health here?
I have 26.
I have 51.
Here, you
51.
take it, Amai.
Wait, did y'all did a glitch?
Now who's got the lowest health?
Sometimes the glitch doesn't work.
Yeah, it
Oh,
doesn't work for
that's
me. Doesn't work for Rika.
Alright,
Oh,
It
I have
works for me just
67.
fine, but I haven't been doing it.
Who has the lowest health? Okay, looks like Rika. Oh yeah, she died.
You all died.
Oh yeah, I remember she was the first
Yeah,
victim.
like legitimately, like if you watch that clip, I would not get that motherfucker. That was bullshit,
You,
and I'm calling that.
you poor
I
thing.
mean,
I'm gonna be angry about it.
You poor thing.
Yeah, that's what
I
they-
feel.
yeah,
I
that's what they
almost feel
all say.
sorry for you.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
I said almost.
Don't lie to me.
I hope
Rat-
we find a scarecrow.
It's me.
I feel a little bougie today.
Oh, booze. Let's go.
I feel a little bit of bougie.
Wait, you dropped. I think. You,
Stop,
yeah, you dropped it.
Stop whooping.
I feel a little bougie.
Oh. Oh.
Haru!
Well, yeah, guess it's my turn. I knew this would happen. I guess it's my
put
turn
this
this
in?
time. Well, I'm not sorry.
Don't touch me. Don't.
I see a big one. There's a big one right here.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Back. Oh. There we go.
Do you just want to take it back to the point?
Yeah, that's a better idea.
Okay.
Alright, here we go. Back up.
Let me bring the cart.
Oh. To your. There you go.
Oh. Rika and Haru found an exact replica
Oh shit.
of that same thing.
It's fine. Straightforward. It's fine. It's not a big deal.
That is what they're doing as well.
Yeah, we're epic.
Sweet.
Silent teamwork.
Yeah.
Oh, they got a big one too. They got another one.
Oh.
Oh.
I get confused with this map sometimes.
Ooh, there's a piano. There's a piano. Excuse me, pardon me, coming through.
Oh yeah.
Yes, that is very piano.
Should we put this in the extraction point because it's very close.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, hang on.
Okay.
Could you pull it from this side?
Just lift it a little. Which careful. Fuck! Well,
Hell no.
that's bullshit. Let's see.
Bitch!
CR means like clip. Oh, clip. What's CH mean? Like clip? Not the beautiful piano. Not the piano. Not the piano. No, not the piano. No. I'm sad. Oh, nice.
Ain't no shit.
H for Harurika. Wait, are you trying to count, like, trying to make us go in a little competition, Seven? What? Oh, he's damaged. Oh, so that's what he was doing.
Okay,
It has to
respectfully,
land on it.
I did not think that was gonna happen.
Shit.
Where's Rika?
Shit, balls, fuck.
We're all battling for survival. Oh no!
Fuck.
Oh god!
You say that was here.
Uh oh. Oh, that was so close. Huh? Can I see my?
Stop. Don't touch me there. This is my no-no square.
Oh
Speaking of no-no square,
my god! He got so.
What's a clip? Oh, okay.
Oh, clip Rika, clip her. Oh, I get it. Just make sure you rest. We appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Nasty motherfucker.
They see you. Oh, Twinkle dying. I think it destroyed the piano. We're planning to put this in the extraction point, but apparently it broke.
Fun game.
Oh yeah, totally.
yep.
Okay, respectfully, did I think that was gonna happen? I thought it was gonna die with.
I know, right?
What?
So I tried killing it with the explosive.
Here,
bomb.
let's go listen to Koan.
Nothing. Second one didn't work either, because I exploded it myself.
Yep.
You was almost
He's through that door.
Alright, chat. I'm gonna go ahead and get some water real quick. I'll be right back. Enjoy the show. Let's watch Koan since Twinkle and
Check this
Koan are
out.
not
Check this
streaming.
Oh shit! Where's the cart? I need the cart.
It's around the corner in that room I just came from. So just don't. It's around the corner, so probably hide somewhere. Ow! You asshole!
Hi. How are you?
There's nothing here. But there is the next extraction point.
Yeah.
Where's the
I got fucking. It's over here somewhere. I got kicked in the head by the fucking clown.
Oh.
So I'm at fucking 1 HP.
Here,
I don't know who's all alive still.
Twinkle should be alive still. Somehow. Turn on.
No, it's not worth it because like
You're good.
I mean legitimately one hit. That stupid motherfucker.
Do we take it back?
So,
Yeah.
Oh, let's go.
We still got another one.
Okay. Yeah, I know where the other one is. Just bring these two mofos back to life. Excuse me.
Ugh.
Excuse me. Anyways. Hooey! Okay. So turn.
Fast, fast, fast. I'm gonna step on the gas tonight.
Oh shit. Yeah, that's it. That's it.
La la. La 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 la. La 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 la.
Hi.
Haru went to go make tea. So let's bring Haru with
Okay.
us.
Rika, why are you looking?
Okay.
You're a perv. You looked at me. You perv.
I know, I'm disgusting.
Alright, Kuan's afraid of women. Got it.
No.
Kuan has no maidens? No maidens? No
You
maidens?
know what?
No bitches.
No maidens?
Oh, I'm sorry. Who got backshotted by me? Ah, yes, I have made.
I use your back shots. Heh.
Fucking.
I love how with Haru's looking down, it looks like she's fucking dead standing.
Just fucking.
Fucking.
Ow! Hide in the box, hide in the box, hide in the box. Rika, you know I'm watching you too, right? You know what? That's okay. That is a-okay with me. What? Ah, he doesn't know how to use head.
We could all join.
Yeah, they died again. Got anything to say, Rico? Saying I have no maiden. How fucking dare you?
Yeah, but you didn't know how to turn
You
the head,
bitch.
so. Hot.
Ugh.
So the thing was, Haru, you and I survived, and I was pushing your body, and then we died by a little fucking rat, and then yeah.
Yeah, the clown's been hunting Kuan and I this whole fucking time.
Let's go check on Twinkle.
God fucking damn it. Fuck this, I'm gonna go take an angry piss.
Have fun, don't fall in. Hey, what does angry pissing sound like?
Found another one.
Alright, I'll keep looking.
I don't
for
want to
it.
know now.
Alright, hop on a second.
I don't know.
I'm really hoping that someone right now is watching me and remembering when they said, "Don't get the piano."
I was telling Kuon, no maidens, no bitches, no maidens, and then I died.
Nah, I can do this. I can do this.
Yes. I appreciate all the clips because I will probably download all the clips and make a funny little edit out of it. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. Yay!
What's your offer?
Hello. 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 Welcome.
I'm in danger.
Oh hey, you got a raid? Should I tell them about my angry piss?
I'm in danger.
I literally asked Haru, what does an angry piss sound like? What a nice way to welcome the raiders. Yes,
Yeah,
you're welcome.
it's what I do.
What's your offer?
Did I hear what's your Look.
Yeah, it's stuff. Don't worry about it. Fine.
Thank you for the follow.
I realized I was muted on stream.
Were you muted on stream?
Not the entire time, but the time when I BRB'd.
So here's what's gonna happen.
Oh no.
Oh no.
No! Well, whatever. Rika and Maya are streaming so they can hear my reaction.
Yeah, we heard your reaction. It was really funny.
Thanks for the follow.
Thank you for the follow.
Hey, thank you for the follow, everybody. Hello. This was the last minute planning, but it
Thank you
is.
for follow, everybody. We
Courage to
appreciate
carry
it.
dog. Hello, everybody. Oh my gosh. Okay, okay. Hello.
Oh, suffer.
I'm in danger.
Oh, thank you for the follow. Oh wait, I need to give you all a shout out. Thank you so much. Hello, everybody. Hello.
Oh.
Normally I wouldn't mute, but I don't. It's fine.
Alright, so let's let Haru actually do her
Yes.
introduction to the
yes,
raid.
my. Yes, my. Everybody heard that. Don't worry.
You're
They just
welcome.
Didn't hear my reaction. Mario Kart 8. Oh my god, I want to join.
Hey yo, non-binary base.
Hey yo, let's go.
Envy is based as fuck.
You two were playing Mario Kart. I'm sorry, I'm a little distracted. Mario Kart 8. I wanna join. Thank you so much, Nadaharu. There's two Harus, and thank you so much for the raid, Palna Noah. How I know? No.
Did you
Yeah,
RR yet?
6,000. Okay.
How and I
Here
were
it
doing
is.
open lobby night. Oh, that's so nice.
Find
It's
that
so nice to
6,000.
meet you too, Haru. The next second Haru. I didn't know you stream again. Okay, you streamed once.
Yeah.
There you go. I'll give you
Yeah,
both a
you're
follow.
But yeah, there's
Paranoia with Pal.
Ada redeem.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Well, yeah, it's because you guys distracted me. Oh, I didn't know you can kill it. Like that.
Yeah, you just manhandle it.
Like,
They
you
just
Go
know,
ahead
you
and
use
give a
two
good
people.
Ada.
because I don't break it.
Oh my god, people are redeeming. I keep on forgetting because I was distracted. Thank you, Mai.
Just imagining just just jumping in to say hi and good job on streaming. Oh, thank you, Mai. Thank you.
I'm pretty sure.
Like,
the
go.
clown got a mask or I think that's just the laser that won't help.
Yeah, there's just
My-
a bunch of
I
stuff
might
going
heard
on.
4,
during
5, 6, 7, almost.
during
8,
lockdown
lead,
collab with
21.
Nip when I saw her on again. I couldn't resist raiding.
What do
Doing
we
twice a
do
day, a
about
couple
I
of
mean-
days. Oh,
The other way.
That's fair.
I normally don't do that,
I
but
don't know what it was called, but it was like,
um,
a spider or some
I
shit.
was supposed to today, but the
Oh, the
previous
animal?
plan did not work out. So
We might be able to.
this is working out very well. So I'm glad you guys are
Yeah.
It's
here.
down there.
Yay!
I mean, as ever it does
We can't fuck
If
it
you
up
have
with our
lockdown.
goofy asses.
I had
Yeah,
no
if you'll
idea.
have
Aro
lock.
gives me a lot of inspiration to stream.
Oh, oh. But if you have
There he is.
lockdown, please let us know. We need more people
Please.
today. Play more
wanna
lockdown.
play.
It's so much fun. We need
I
to get
just played tonight.
we need to get Maya
Careful,
lockdown.
careful.
It's so much
We
fun.
do.
This is really good for
Careful,
friends.
careful.
Hey,
Especially for
chat. Chat, please send me like $5
Oh god.
and
Oh,
then
god.
send Haru $5 and with our $5
Bing.
together, that makes 10 and we can buy the
Hey,
game for
You know
Mai.
my. Oh yeah, yeah. We can buy my. We can give my
Oh no.
lockdown.
Oh dear. Oh no.
I wanted to interview was another day. No, it was supposed to be today, but earlier they weren't doing so good. I heard. But it's okay. We'll do this another time.
I mean, yeah, listen.
It happens.
Yeah, I mean, that's
Vastly
just how it
prefer-
goes.
I know. I prefer that instead of Among Us. My bad.
My sculpture.
Move.
It's so funny.
I haven't played Among Us in a while, and I low-key want to just like bring it back.
I was never a huge fan of Among Us.
Yeah, I don't like Among Us.
Because I am sus, no matter what.
Was that your?
Hello!
Yeah, that was must be
Hello.
Mr. Wayu.
Oh, how y'all doing? Let's get out of here.
Welcome back.
Hello.
What
We
about
were
to
we
Well,
were just
I mean,
we were talking a lot.
I got a foot up my ass so many times by that fucking clown.
And I got
I
raided
swear
twice,
I
and
could
they-
put something further up there.
No, Mamma Mia.
Mamma mia, mamma mia, mamma mia, let me go.
Well, hello, thank you Raiders. Oh my god, I'm sorry, I'm so distracted in clubs. Thank you so much. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, give me a. Yeah, I'm not sure how to hit you up. Well, you can see my my Twitter Lunadol VT, and you can just DM me here, and we can arrange a lockdown protocol thing. It's so much fun. Well, good luck to the others. Ho ho! Tee hee! Tee hee! Well, thank you! Please go to sleep. Go eat. Go sleep. Paprika. Oh no. She's making content. But yeah, my other friends are streaming, so go ahead and check them out too. I'm with my amazing chaotic friends. They're all my wonderful, wonderful friends. And I just realized I forgot to do introductions. I mean, they've been around for a while, but
Clown.
They're so different.
Fuck off, dude.
honest.
Won't start nothing, won't be nothing.
I know, right? Lockdown is so casual. It's so much fun. And if you're playing with chaotic people, it's even better. Like chaotic, respectful people, I guess.
Are they dead?
I don't see any red marks. Shout out if you're dead. Yeah, check my. Yeah. My doesn't stream much, but please check my. One of my good friends and a good manager. Oh, we still need. I think I went the wrong way. No, I did. 3 people are dead. Oh, great. Twinkle, you better come back. I knew it, they're dead. Oh god. Twinkle, you alive? Twinkle. Oh, if you're alive. Oh gosh, I see one head. That must be Twinkle, doesn't it? Alright. Oh fuck, no, 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 no. No, 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 go, 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 oh, I don't have the strength upgrade. Oh, 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 you're like, oh, no, 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 go, shoot, shoot, go, get, shoot, fuck you. You know what, fuck this shit. I don't care anymore. Let's go. I'm sorry, Twinkle. Twinkle, I'm sorry. I have no choice. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry, Twinkle. I had no choice.
How did he die?
That traitor!
I had no choice.
Well,
I was
one,
attacked
they
by-
were back, so.
Everybody get in a circle with Haru and point traitor.
Oh, oh, oh.
Haru, you traitor!
Look, I was attacked by a
Surround.
thumper, okay? I had no choice.
Everybody get in a circle.
No,
Get in a circle.
no, no.
Surround.
Oh, no.
Shame.
I am now
Shame.
reduced to
Shame.
the
No.
Shame.
Shame.
I'm in a
Shame.
nightmare.
Shame. Shame.
Shame.
I am in a nightmare.
Shame.
Look, I'm in a nightmare, guys.
Shame.
Well, let's be real. Do
But
you
let's
think
be real.
Twinkle... Ow. Do you think... Oh, let's be real. Do you really think Twinkle could have pulled that off all by himself?
Yes.
Yes.
Alright. So, uppies. Who wants uppies?
Oh, I want a piece.
Uppies. Yeah.
The answer is yes,
I wanna-
but
Yes.
I was like kind of scared.
Alright.
Sprint speed sounds good. I would like sprint speed and health. What? I'm gonna take a
Ooh, how much
50.
is the range? Too much.
Oh, that's a grenade.
Yeah, it
Let's
is.
see. There's a
Okay.
gun. I don't see it. I don't see it.
Ugh.
Ooh, there's a frying pan.
Chuck the
zero
grenade.
gravity. That one.
Yeah, do it. Do it.
Oh, that
Do it now.
one. That was
Do it
pretty
before
useless.
it's
No, don't use it. No.
Twinkle told me to do it.
I did. Press the button. Press the button quickly.
You missed.
Now there's no
Uh-huh.
grenades.
Are you
Oh,
sure?
no! Oh no! Oh no! For this! This!
You disturb the peace.
Whee.
I mean, like, no. I was gonna heal.
You what?
I was gonna heal. No, I'm taking this.
Oh.
No, y'all with me, no choice. I
Hey!
was gonna do the glitch and everything.
That was my strength fuck off.
I have 1 health, so.
I have
I
one
was
health
gonna
thanks
do-
to Haru.
Here. Wait. Don't move,
Oh,
Mike.
this. Oh, the spin is mine, and the rest is ours.
Whose range is this? Is this yours?
Who's
It's not
stamina?
mine.
who's
If nobody
getting
wants
this?
it, I'll take it.
Who's getting the
Who's
stamina?
getting this last
take
one?
it. I'll take it.
I'll take the
I mean,
stamina.
I
Okay.
don't have it. I don't have any, though.
Oh,
Does
here,
anyone?
take
Do you have one already?
it. No.
Here you go.
We're all
Alright, oh.
Repo is fun to play in general. Honestly, yes.
Yeah.
I am so excited for our upcoming Repo.
Oh my god,
Hold on.
yes, that one.
Our upcoming Repo stream. That one's gonna be really
I
fun.
love playing it if not for
Wait,
all the
which one?
treacherous natures of some of the people
Wait,
here.
wait,
I mean, of
wait,
course we
wait.
steal health in this game.
We can't. Wait, do you need help?
Yeah.
No, like it's the thing. Like we steal health in this game because you know this game's already unfair. So
Oh shit! I'll take this. Careful, careful, careful.
Yeah,
careful,
it's really fun to play with fun friends.
guys, I found my PC again.
What?
It's dirty.
I got a good time.
I'm gonna go play Minecraft.
In the toilet?
Excuse me. Ugh, I'm burping.
Yeah, there
I was
a fucking
burping a little.
gateway PC in the goddamn toilet. Where?
Excuse me. Pardon me. I
Okay, play me a song, Haru.
got-
Literally, it literally
What
looks like
kind
a
of song? I
fucking
don't want to
gateway
spoil the
PC.
surprise.
Fucking compact.
Let's
looking
see.
shit.
Fine.
excuse me.
I love you, bit. Wait.
I want to save it for the idol. Oh wait,
I
have
know. Hold up.
Oh,
Oh.
you did that on purpose, did you? You did that on.
Here. I love you, bitch. I ain't gonna stop loving you, bitch.
Oh, no.
What? I'm trying to put it back
sing you
in.
a hateful tune.
Trying to put it back in.
You know, I have the perfect song for you. You don't always have to effort hard. Sometimes
That
it's
is a
not
fucked up
right
looking
to
scroll.
do. Sometimes you get.
Wow, a whole goddamn game.
Sometimes you gotta make some woo woos and effing and fucking giving some smooches too. Sometimes you got to squeeze. Sometimes you got to say, hey, I got a vase. Don't worry, I'm following the Twitch guidelines. Don't worry, my sweet Rika. Don't worry, we're gonna screw you. I don't think they like the song. I don't think they like the song. I don't think they like the song. I don't think they like the music. I don't think they like my singing.
It's literally right here. I'm fucking.
Mentalist.
Not this bitch. Oh, she opened the door. Oh god. Oh, great. I don't think she liked my singing, guys.
If I had a bomb, this would be easier.
Me.
Rika, I will flush you down.
No, don't quit me. Oopsie daisy.
Heard something about violence.
Oh well, I'm gonna keep singing. Wait a minute, Sally.
No.
That's
Get your
fucking
ass-
damn right. What's your favorite position?
No.
This is your king. Stop it.
No.
That's cool with
No.
me.
Do
I'll
it.
find.
Do
I'll
it.
find what's
No,
I'll
no.
do it for
No, no,
you.
no.
What's your favorite
No.
position?
I will take my shit.
Um,
I need to shit.
Okay. Have fun.
Don't you?
Zanzibar. I forgot the
where's
other
the-
lyrics.
Thingy.
And I'm gonna love
found
you
it.
completely. And then I'm gonna screw you completely. And then I'm gonna love you completely. But then I'm gonna F you.
Oh, we can't do shit. We're dead.
We're
Say
dead.
goodbye. Say goodbye. Me and Rika are just doing bits, bro. We're not even trying.
I was just.
We-
Oh.
We were just fucking around in the
Hi,
bathroom.
Twinkle. I saw. I
We were
saw.
fucking around in the bathroom, and then all of a sudden we're like, "Oh, bye."
I saw that. I saw what
bye."
was
It's
gonna
such
happen
a
to you guys.
fucking roll.
Well, I'm gonna keep
Oh
singing.
my-
It don't always have to effort hard. Sometimes it's not right. Wow. Wow.
High five.
Wow. Like, so we all saw that. We all saw that. Yeah, you're starting the
Such
show now, Mike.
loyalty misplaced.
Let's see what are annoying songs to sing.
I
This is the song that never
Shut the fuck up.
ends. Years it goes on and on.
I'm gonna mute you all.
Oh my god, what a bully, bro.
Damn, what a
I am a
bully.
bully. I am a
Bro.
bully, and you like it.
Bro. Oh, really?
Oh, really?
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 Second
Prove
one,
that
second
shit then.
place.
You dropped my head,
Damn.
Mike.
I'll look at the receipts.
No lay down.
Y'all getting so many clips from me. So please rest.
Definitely all getting so
Just
many
watch the
clips from
show
me.
and just rest.
Cut my life.
Her, what are you still doing here? Are you supposed to be sleeping or
Play song.
like eating something?
Suffocation.
Aren't you
No
supposed to be
breathing,
having a
so,
Like
stretch and
drinking,
relaxing? Does
like
your
drink
leg
some
hurt?
water. I
Oh
don't mean,
shit!
like,
Water.
drink.
Water break, everybody.
Water
Um,
break? Well,
I had. Oh. You see, this is. Who's drinking soda?
It ain't me this
hell yeah,
time.
bro.
It ain't me this time, and I,
know
will
you
take a
drink
picture of
from a
myself.
can. Oh, so it's so it was Twinkles. It's Twinkles' turn, huh?
I'm good. Good.
Did you drink it there?
Refreshing.
But anyways, Haru, yeah. Chaos! Every time with my
Guys.
friends here. Close friends.
Yep.
It's always gonna happen, and there's content.
That's right. Guys.
Yeah, no. So all the clips that Seven is doing,
Well, I hide right here.
I'm
but
probably
I'm
gonna
scared.
get all the clips and then just make a whole video.
Fuck
It-
yeah.
Probably just post. I'll probably just make like a YouTube channel, just post it.
I don't
friends
know.
are
I
good
don't know how I
too.
survived. How did I survive?
Well, I don't
We
know.
were actually wondering that.
now, if you excuse me, Rico, there's
What?
a bit we gotta do. There's a bit we gotta do.
Oh.
Guys, you forgot the money bag.
Oh shit,
Oh.
sorry. Thank you,
Oh, I
Mike.
didn't
Well,
think-
put the
we're gonna
money.
get the money back.
Put the money in the bag.
God
Oh!
damn, ran right into the fucking money bag.
My, you need to say
God
something
damn it.
next time. Can you say something next You made him destroy the toilet. Shame on you.
No maidens, no bitches, no maidens, no bitches, no maidens.
Hola,
My
¿cómo
fucking
estás?
god. Well, I know where the next extraction point is at least. So
That's all I can say.
No maidens, no bitches.
This is so terrible.
No maidens, no
Foul
bitches.
tarnished.
Oh my god.
He's probably
This
talking
is-
shit right now behind the screen.
This is terrible.
I'm going.
God damn it.
Uh-oh, Twinkle, you good?
I need. Yeah, someone help me.
Yes,
Oh,
I got
no.
you. I will
Don't
help you.
Tell me. There's a big. Oh no.
Oh shit! Let me go behind you.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Here, I got Twinkle too.
Pivot, pivot,
Got it.
pivot.
Where's the extraction point? There it is. Are we putting this extraction point or
Fuck.
what are you drinking? Because soda.
Water. Water. No,
How is it
water. I promise you. It's water.
How
I
is it
promise.
making you burp like that?
Because I burp on purpose.
Oh, Stop burping, everybody! It's not a burping ASMR.
Yep.
How many people pay you to burp?
Oh my.
Hey chat, pay me in a burp in your ear and I'll do it.
Alright, $10, everybody.
$10.
So you can so that.
Those $10 will
Oh,
go
shit,
straight
sorry.
to my.
Hold on,
wait,
hold
wait,
on,
wait.
hold on. Before we go, grab
oh.
whoever's head. Stop.
Oh. Whoever's head.
okay, I'll grab it.
I'll grab it. Wait.
We have to stand this fucking thing up.
Oh yeah. You see, Twinkle? I hang around with dumbasses.
No, it's fine. You should hear when my friends and I play on Fridays and
Oh.
Saturdays. Jesus.
Oh. Hang on, let's push it. There we go.
Yeah,
Yeah, tonight's
Oh.
connection is pretty
What is this, a
shitty
fucking I Love
tonight.
Lucy
There we
skit?
go.
Jesus.
I'm just gonna close the door.
Well, you know what? I am also a dumbass too.
My life.
Oh yeah,
God
baby,
damn it,
slide
God.
it right in.
Oh yeah.
Slide it,
Oh, yeah.
slide it right in.
Oh, you're so fucking disappointing.
Oh, wow.
Oh, God,
I
this
see
is
that.
ruined my Friday night.
Hey guys,
Alright.
you know.
Oh god.
Hey, Koo. Hey, Koo. Look what's right there.
Alright. Don't hit the fucking money bag.
Okay.
And if it kills you, it kills you. That's your fault.
Don't hit people with the shopping cart.
Hang on. Watch out. Watch out. Watch out.
Oh,
I got a crown.
That's what it was.
Crown.
What?
No.
What's going on here?
Hurry.
Well, that's not my problem. Not my problem.
Nobody likes League of Legends.
My. Ooh.
That is nothing new.
That is mental. He's coming. Careful. Wait a minute, Sally. I want to save this other song for the next collab. I don't want to ruin the surprise. Come in here with an item.
Oh, wait, can someone give me some help? Please?
This.
Nobody has any. Really? I have
That's why.
21.
That's enough.
21.
Oh, I see something.
Anyone?
Oh, it's a big item.
21.
I need help with this.
Oh, here you go.
I will go into the next. I'll go into the next room to see if there's anything in there.
Okay. Here.
Oh.
Oh.
Now my favorite part of the game, min-maxing. You know, I'm just gonna take this from you all before.
Oh, by the way, everybody, we are not safe for work creators. Ho, surprise.
Yeah.
We are all not safe for work
Oh
creators.
God,
Oh,
Yep, we're not.
Just vampire.
Please be
again.
18 years old or be in the stream.
Must be
For
18
all
years
of
old.
us.
The pre-order.
Don't touch.
Okay.
Haru, stay.
Touch.
I know.
Touch.
Yes, mommy.
Touch.
I'm not mummy.
You are suppy.
Touch.
Right. I keep on
Don't touch.
forgetting. Don't touch.
Touch.
Oh,
What for you,
touch.
Brown? Oh! Dude,
Ow, fuck you, asshole.
that was not me. That was not me.
No, that was definitely hard. That was definitely hard.
No! You bump into me.
Don't touch
oh,
me.
oh
Don't touch me.
no, guys.
touch- oh,
Where's the
touch.
extraction point?
Touch.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Come back.
Great.
Stuff in the fridge.
That's bullshit. Well, that was bullshit. Anyways, hope everybody here is enjoying the show,
Someone died.
including the Raiders.
Okay, I'll tell you right now. The eye got her. You know that
I
eye
appreciate the
that
raid. Thank you
catches
so
you?
much.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's what hard at too.
Oh.
Let's spin it around. Let's spin it. We're spinning
Okay.
around.
Well, yeah.
3,
Anyways, hit me up if you want to do a lockdown protocol. Haru
Right to
and
bed.
everybody
All right,
else.
I think we got pretty
Right to
much
around.
all that we're going to.
So, okay,
Oh,
no,
excuse me.
careful. There's the,
Just
the
know my
eye
Twitter
that-
account is Lunadal
The Eye of
He
Aga
is-
Daddy? The Eye of Aga Daddy?
By the
the Nightbot will check it.
Coco.
Yeah, here it is. Yeah,
Oh,
that's my
fuck.
Twitter. If you want to hit me up,
Yeah, that thing.
for the
I don't
next
know if we
lockdown
wish- Do you
protocol.
guys want to min-max? When I play, I try to min-max. I don't know whether or not you guys want to.
What does min-max mean?
Min-maxing is for the last one you try to get
Uh,
absolutely
so,
everything that was
One
remaining
collabor,
left
like a few
over,
collabors,
including this
because they
fucking
have an
box right here.
IRL job,
Well,
and
I
their
do-
time zone is
Nah.
You wanna risk
like
it?
The
pretty
box- the
special,
box ain't worth
so
it.
only nighttime for them during the
18.
weekdays, like around 9 p.m.
I'll think about
PST. But if you want to do it during the weekend,
Oh,
I
God, I
mean,
can do
it
it on
is
my own.
manageable.
You got this.
We'll see. We'll see.
Gently, like a piece of paper.
Much money.
By the way, I'm dead.
Yeah.
But you can all see
Okay,
I'm
the
dead.
contraction. Oh.
And yeah, if you want to play Mario
Actually,
Kart
just like-
8 Deluxe, I'm still
My
down for that too. I would love to play
It's
that
the
game too.
Enclaves.
Minute maxing means cracking the hog while working. What's going on here?
Shit.
Oh, I didn't know they had another big one. Oh dear.
Alright, hang on a sec. I gotta grab it from the bottom.
Oh, it's good thing Rika's streaming too. No, you'll see what's going. We'll see
Come
what's
on,
going
just
on.
like a couch.
I never moved a couch in my life.
Oh god.
Oh no. Oh no.
Run.
Oh god. Get it
Just
right side up.
fuck it all. Fuck it all.
Okay, fine.
Shit!
I saw.
I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything.
I got a knife shoved up my ass. So
What?
that's part
Just-
of
What?
this game.
Just finish it. Just finish it. Just
Just
finish
finish
it and get
Yeah.
out.
Just finish it.
Shit, no, we're not.
Finish
It's
it.
just
finish
you
it.
two.
Finish it. It's okay.
Just
We're all
do-
They're
almost
freaking
dead.
out probably looking at those numbers.
Are they dead?
Yes.
No, they're getting a big iron box.
I saw
No,
what
no,
happened.
my.
No, no.
Yeah, go investigate. Go investigate.
No. At least they're streaming too.
Yeah, go investigate.
My-
Somebody died.
What's
Go
going
take a
on
look
here?
at it.
My.
My.
Mario
Mario Kart even Repo
My.
sometimes always try to set more
Mine.
claps. Oh yeah.
Bye, don't do it. Bye, don't do it.
It's the time thing. Just.
Bye.
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 It's the time zone. Just let us know when you're available, Haru. Thank you so much. We appreciate that.
So cool on.
Bye. Don't do it. Exactly.
What happened?
Their name is My Y
Twinkle's
E.
dead. I haven't found Rika's head. But
Okay, they are being
fairly
brave. They are
certain
being
that she's
brave.
probably
Let's
dead as
go.
well.
Thunderstorm around somewhere else. I'm terrified.
So, yeah, I would recommend.
I would recommend getting out.
Shit.
I would recommend getting
All right,
out right
let's
now.
just put the stuff in the thing.
Hey, common sense.
The knife wielder is gonna shove the thing right up my
Oh,
ass.
Wait, what did you say, Rika? What did you say, Haru?
Not-
Save
not-
Rika.
Okay,
So-
I'll
You
wrap it.
mispronounced your name. Dumbass.
How did you say my name?
Oh, yeah, push it-
Oh, no.
push the cart.
Push it in and then help.
Reich. I fucking swear if someone starts calling me Reich, I'm gonna come in after your asses.
Right.
There we go.
Hide.
Twitter, sometimes I forgot Twitter these days.
46 out of 15. That's play.
YouTuber
That's
Club.
play.
Aw, that
That's fucking
sucks.
What
money.
about a bunny?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
Nothing but
Rika is
fucking
probably
money.
dead. So, did Rika die as well?
Yeah, she did. With
Wait, did the bot?
Scissor Girl, Scissor Girl. What the frick? Well, what's up?
But Koo's looking at your dead head and just like straight up looking at you like
Forget about me, just go, just go. Item is my dead head, nice.
I'm trying to bring it back on.
We'll figure it out. We can actually send DMs on Twitch. And we can just share Discord. Let's see if we can do that. Let me see.
chat. How have I?
Oh yes, we
streaming?
can. We can do
Oh,
that.
okay. An hour in a minute.
There you go. Oh my god. Having fun, Rika?
Yeah, I'm having fun.
Me too.
We always have fun.
I know, right? With chaotic friends. This is the best. Best last minute plan ever.
I love last minute plans, honestly.
I don't honestly, but this was a good exception.
Yeah, I feel like unfortunately last minute plans play out well than minute. like
Scheduled.
planned out stream. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of times when I like do last minute changes on the games.
Go that
Ho ho ho. Yeah, it always happens when you want to do more streaming.
Who said that?
Like, oh my god, this game is trending. Let's do
Oh, sorry,
this.
go.
Let's do this at last minute.
Come, come.
So
Right.
It's like, oh my god, I gotta
Grab that.
do this and that, whatever, all that stuff.
Yeah. Unfortunately, my freaking game, it's going around with everybody. The game is like glitching bad.
Oh,
And my stream is going fine. It like gets slow here and there, but
oh man. Hmm. Let's see. Yeah, trying to plan stuff is hard sometimes, but you just yell into the void you want to do this game, and sometimes like 6 people come out and do all that sudden.
I can't believe you've done this.
Oh, I can't believe you done this.
What? Oh, thank you.
Oh
Go,
my
go, 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 go,
gosh.
go,
I can't
Fucking
believe you
hell.
done.
Go, 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 go.
I want my save cord.
Yeah,
Oh.
we weren't gonna leave you behind, so I went back to direct Kuon play go around so that they
Nice.
didn't have to go through fucking scissor hands.
This
Oh,
is
yeah.
not how you curry favor.
Curry. I love curry.
I genuinely want to try curry.
I like Japanese style curry
76, baby.
only. I tried.
I've had vegan style curry.
Oh, how is it?
It's alright.
I
I don't like vegan stuff, honestly.
Guys,
Shotgun!
They
I need a
replaced some.
shotgun.
I cannot say that I
Put it down.
enjoy. I cannot say I enjoy being fisted by the scissor arms of a very strange doll. So let's try and avoid that.
Well, if you want to
Okay, I
get
want-
fisted
I
by a
want- can't you
doll,
say
you can
that?
ask me.
Oh,
Hey, yo! Whoa! Whoa,
we're
My,
on
you know what
Twitch.
my
We're
persona
on
is.
Twitch.
Oh, by the
yeah, I
way,
know.
everybody, I did not say that earlier. Way earlier. This is not my true form.
We need that. No, we need that.
Oh, we
Please, we need this.
do. We do
No,
need
no,
this.
no, that's a lot.
That's-
That's a lot of money. Buy that.
That's
I'm
way
saying
too
this
much.
because it's done.
No, don't clip that.
Damage.
Be real careful.
But
with
yes,
those
I'm a God the
stun bear
Living Doll
traps, because
VTuber,
they'll
everybody.
fly
I
at
forgot to
whatever's
introduce
closest,
myself, but that's
including
okay.
me.
Alright, guys. Who wants uppies?
I want a piece. I'm
You always want uppies.
Yeah, you always
I
want
want
to.
to
No maidens.
Okay.
That's
I'm
what
just
your
gonna
name should
steal-
be.
I'm gonna steal health, so I'm good.
Who wants health?
Yeah, give-
So
I'm
I'm
gonna
just
get
gonna-
health upgrade.
I would.
I'm getting an extra jump.
Okie dokie.
So I've got an extra jump and a range.
Okay, there's a stamina
Stealing.
upgrade.
I'm
Who,
gonna
who
steal
needs
health.
stamina? Does anyone need stamina?
Is that
I'm
stamina
good
or
on
run speed?
stamina.
Anyone else need one of you need stamina? Nope.
I'm okay.
Nope. Okay.
I want stamina, please.
Me, 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 me.
Oh no, my grenade's stuck.
What?
My grenade got stuck.
What? How?
Because I didn't. Okay.
Oh, there we go. Oh.
Rika!
Not-
Hang on.
Not literally Javiita. Let's go get the grenade.
There we go.
Hang on. Don't.
It's alright. It's
God.
alright. Here we go.
Alright, somebody
Oh, he's behind us.
somebody put me.
He's behind us.
Somebody.
Wait, he's behind us. Oh, cool. Where's Kuma's head?
Right here.
Down there.
Oh, the poor baby. Oh.
Wah,
Womp womp. Oh, the
This
grenade.
is what they wanted.
wah. This is what they. Oh,
Alright, we gotta take something away. I think that's a grenade.
let's take away his head.
Alright, let's.
But it didn't change.
Hey
the
Rika,
price.
you feel lucky?
Damn.
Nope.
Oh,
Oh.
Well, you
Yeah.
are. Congratulations.
no. Alright, we need to get rid of
Alright, let's-
some stuff. Let's see.
Alright, let's just.
Oh! Whoa.
Oh.
You're dangerously close.
Who destroyed company shotgun?
Oh well. They'll get over it.
Womp womp.
Oh, here you go,
Alright.
health back. Alright, ready?
I'm sorry.
You good?
No, you should be. It's okay, don't accept the apology. You know she doesn't mean it.
I really do.
Haha.
It's like I want to accept it, but can I really trust it?
Wait, that was mine.
No.
The health upgrade.
Oh,
Oh, that's okay.
I think this one. This is also help.
No, this is
Is
Max player.
Oh, I read it wrong. I'm dyslexic.
All right, who's stamina
Here,
upgrade?
take this. Take this. Take these.
I've
These
already
were
got
mine.
stamina. I've
No,
got.
you should- no, you can take it. There's not a big deal.
No, you take it.
You sure?
Take it.
Yeah,
yes.
I'll just give you health.
That was mine. Ow! Why did you throw it at me? Take
Oh,
it.
Hi, how are you?
what? All of it?
Whatever,
Yes, take it.
whatever,
Of course.
Alright, I'll just give you some.
Alright, see
Okay.
you around.
Want to hang out?
Back shot.
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
We can talk about shows we
want more?
thought about watching, but didn't actually think
you
through.
want
I
more,
gotta
baby?
watch
I mean,
it.
you want more, baby?
Oh, understandable.
Like
What the
Game
fuck?
of Thrones. Like,
want more,
I
baby?
said I would watch it.
I think I'll give
didn't
you more.
watch it.
I
Can I join?
heard about it. I
Can I
heard there was
join?
dragons, but
Hey, what you guys doing?
when I was
Dragons?
dragging these, nuts across the.
Baby.
Oh.
Oh, wait. Everybody ready?
No.
Yeah.
Well,
stun
hang on.
grenades
What is
this?
this? What does this
It's-
map player count even do?
It shows us how many players are
Yeah,
still alive
it's a-
on the map.
Oh yeah, I'll do it then. I'll do
Oh, that's
Alright.
interesting.
You want
it. I'll
it?
do it.
Here.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Oh no, it works out anyway. It works out in the end.
That was my fault because I thought it was a health pack, but I read it wrong.
It's okay.
Guys, you're
Alright,
good. You're
let's-
good. You're
If
good.
we survive the next
Let's
one, well, what?
What?
I
Let's
think
I
you're.
started dying. Don't worry about it.
I think. Oh, I thought it was a proximity check cutting you off. Anyways, I have a stun grenade. If anyone is.
This is the best level for us to
Oh wait.
die
Oh
in.
yeah, I bought that in case.
Oh yeah, you need it? You want it?
I saved your life.
No, 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 no,
No?
no, no, no. That's not. You can have it. I
Alright.
already have enough items.
Shine bright like a diamond.
Oh, but you
I'm
about to-
alive.
Guys, you missed.
We're about to.
You
Nothing out
there's a
here.
Fucking
Oh.
booth right here.
Oh, there's a book. There's a book right here. Like a diamond in the sky. I saw the. Oh. Shine bright. Oh, here you go. Tonight, so alive. We're beautiful like diamonds in the sky. Shine bright like a diamond. Shine bright like a diamond. Shine bright like a diamond. We're beautiful.
I heard
like...
Shrek 5. I'm leaving.
Ew, no.
Shrek 5 like a. God.
No, I don't even like Shrek 3.
For me, I rewatched it.
I like this first and second one better. Onions have layers. I have a monkey. What? Oh,
Oh, yeah, that's my homie right there.
there you go.
Your winner. Your winner.
No, don't tell me 7. I don't want to hear it.
Oh my gosh, look at that.
Oh my god, yeah. Who here wants to kiss some asses, baby? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, let's go, baby. Oh yeah. Yeah. Who here wants some asses? I would love that. Oh yeah. Who wants to lick some asses? Let's go. Oh yeah. If asses are drugs, let's go.
Oh yeah.
I swear that shit's gonna ruin my life. Oh my fucking god.
Where am I?
Can I have a taste?
Of course you can.
I can have just a taste.
Taste, ayo. Oh, Rika, you're
Fuck
walking
that.
over.
Why?
Why?
did you?
Why would you walk over there?
Why?
Why?
Be launched.
Oh
Be
my God.
free.
What the?
Where'd you go?
Careful, that does fall damage.
Oh. Let's see. You don't always have to effort hard. Sometimes it's not right.
Pablo!
to
Pablo!
do.
It's Pablo!
What?
Oh man.
My drink some water. Oh my god, it's not Frosty the Snowman. I'm sorry, I saw a monster. Oh, no. It's not my fault, it's not my fault. There was a monster like dragging me somewhere. I swear it's not my fault this time. Help! Oh my god, is he panting like an old man? Why? That was not my fault this time. She doesn't have to blame me anymore. Rika doesn't have to blame me for breaking her stuff, and now it wasn't my fault this time. Ha! Ugly. You mean by run? No. Wow, what a mess. Oh no! Oh no! Hi, little ducky. Oh, what happened? What? Wait, what? Oh. Uh-oh. Alright, I can only carry you, Rika. Uh-oh. It was the duck? No way. You poor thing.
Alright.
Rika,
So,
you know what
grab
Rika's
that-
we're gonna say?
grab the wiggle for
Bring
me.
me
Rika, I got it.
to
There you go.
life.
Okay.
Oh, for fuck's sake, that's a giant.
Okay.
It's a vase.
Do
Okay,
you
see
want
if you
to
can
risk?
swing me.
Do you want to risk getting it?
Oh yeah, swing me. Look at you.
Dude!
Oh, ow. That didn't work out.
Wait, can I try? Should I try killing the duck?
I was trying. No, it didn't work. The height is too high.
I got it.
I'm gonna try finding another one. I
No,
got
no,
dragged,
no,
by the way.
I got an extended range.
Alright,
Wow.
I got it.
I'm
Yep,
gonna go
I
now.
got it.
Oh,
I got it.
excuse me.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm warning you, dude. I am warning you.
Oh, let me. BRB real quick a second. Alright, let's go find your cauldron. Aha, here's one. Bring me to life. Really pop culture today. Hey, can you jump there? Can you jump there? Can you jump there? Come on, jump. Come on, jump. Thank you. You're beautiful. You're what? No. Jump. Yes, jump there. Yeah, you know, you got it. You did it. You such a. You're a good boy. You're a good boy. Jumping in the cauldron like. Oh. Good boy. You're a good boy. Good boys deserves to die. I killed my own baby. The life. That's the best. I killed my own baby. I killed my baby.
Okay.
You got the duck or the baby?
The duck.
Oh, awesome.
I killed
way,
my
next
own
predator.
baby. And I'm proud of it. No remorse. You see, it was a little far.
The wanton slaughter of innocent animals. Innocent in quotations.
Psh, innocent. You think that duck is innocent? Oh, do you
Okay.
need help?
Yeah, I can get that. I just need to know where I'm taking it.
Oh,
I'm hoping it's here.
yeah.
Oh yeah, girl.
Oh yeah, baby. Let's go. Here, I'm gonna press the button. Or I'll help you out with the cube. Oh, I'm out of stamina. Ooh. Oh, sorry. There's a big sword.
Sword?
A sword here.
Put me
Okay.
down, no maiden. Put me down, no maiden.
Haru, is this yours?
No, that's not my baby. That's an adult.
Alright, fine, alright.
That's an adult.
Dispose of it.
I know, right? Dispose of it. Dispose it in the cauldron. Ooh, ooh, ooh. There we go.
Awesome.
Get up! Get up! Get up! Get up! Get up! Oh my god!
What are you two doing?
Grim Reaper! Grim Reaper! Grim Reaper!
Oh. What's it doing? Can I use a stun grenade? Oh, never mind. Enjoying the show. Die,
That
bitch,
thing's got
die.
250 health. Be very careful.
Oh, wait.
Yep.
Get it, get
everyone
it.
Jump in, jump in, jump in.
Okay.
Ah, great!
Awesome. Now, you know what?
Oh.
Hey, we killed it!
Haru's life of
That's fine.
Bring me to life. Hey, I know there's a sword. Oh, there's this one too. What the heck happened?
I wondered when that bastard was going to make an appearance.
Kuan was coming up the stairs with the soul and smacked it into my fucking face.
Why did you walk backward?
My.
I didn't know you were behind me.
My.
hey, guys. This wizard, he gets mated.
Mwah.
Oh, that was a good.
Is Haru's head on the what's it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
No, no,
Wasted
Rika,
a sword.
Rika,
Hold
Rika,
on.
look.
What?
No, Rika, I want you to get. I want you to get as a clip. Ready?
Oh, excuse me.
Okay. Get ready to clip this. 7.
All right. My name is Kuan, and this is Jackass.
I saw that. I lost a stun grenade. Did I?
You know what?
What's going on? Body drinks of water.
God.
My God!
They are
Fucking
choking.
dying.
Drink, get some water.
good.
Get some
I'm
water.
fine. I'm fine.
Bro,
I smacked the piss out of Kuan upside the fucking head.
You smacked the piss on me. I smacked the piss on you.
All right. No more
Swear to
fighting. No
God.
more fighting. Let's just continue on, okay?
Okay, it's continue.
Chat, the boys are fighting again.
Am I? They
mommy.
fighting over somebody? Oh, I see a diamond.
Oh my god, you guys
are so
mature.
Okay, that works anyway.
Eh.
There's a diamond. Oh, I see a big one.
The big one.
The big one. We call it the
cube.
butt.
It's the big cube. Howard, come get the with me.
I know, I want looking at smaller items first.
Yeah. There's nothing.
I know there's a big one. I'm
It's
looking at
nice.
smaller items first. Okay, ready?
Okay, let's bring it to the car. Where's Rika?
Hold on.
Oh. I think we can do it. Okay, There you go, there you
let's
go.
Get the
yeah, let's go. Check on this. Oh, nothing in here.
No, I'm trying to get this fucking item. Shut the fuck up.
Frick. Push your knees, Kua. It's Kua, not Kua. That's not Kua.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's not Kua.
It's different. Different.
Guys, Twinkle dropped something on my head, and now they're dying.
That is a lie. That is a lie
Womp
straight
womp.
from the liar's mouth.
Ah!
Oh,
Womp.
my, be nice to your siblings. Ooh, what's this? Ooh. I see a vase. Oh, hi. I see a little vase. Itty vase. Hello. Oh. Where are you going? My, what are you doing? Whatever.
And that's it.
I got a vase. I got a small item. Oh,
it's like that?
I got something too.
Are we
what's
are we
going
gonna
on
do
here?
this? My, because you know I already put Rika in their place, and
Oh
if you
my.
wanna
No,
play
you
this
didn't.
game, we can play this.
When?
game.
Only if you do
When?
it. Only if you
When?
do it harder.
When have you put me in
Oh.
my place? When have you put me in my place?
Second born, second place.
I'm actually the last
Mhm.
born. I'm the youngest in my family, and I'm a bastard child, so fuck you.
Oh god. You're
Bruh.
you're sad.
Family drama. I could bathe in it.
Where the fuck is Kuon?
Oh,
Well,
Here.
they're dead.
where's Rika's head?
Come
There.
on up.
Nice
Awesome.
shot. Nice catch.
Well, hold on. Wait, what happened?
Nice catch.
Okay, wait. Okay, wait. I found an item. I found.
Just like Lethal Company.
Okay.
There's a vase and what? Bro,
Oh, there it is. Here we are. Here you go, Rika. Back in your place.
I think I got it.
wait, where's mine?
Ooh.
Shine bright like a diamond.
I'm alive. Look at that.
Hang on. Ooh.
Can somebody help us?
Diamond.
Give me that
A
permit.
diamond. Diamond.
Oh,
Alright, hang on a second. Hang on.
Ooh. There we go, there we go. And right like it. Oh, it's a good thing this place is wide. Here, go ahead and go down. There we are. Thank God this is wide. To your right? I mean, to your left, my bad.
My
Sorry.
left.
To your left. I'm sorry. Fuck directions.
Alright, hang on a second.
Yeah.
Delicately, like a vampire.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
I think we should move it a little bit. Yeah. Okay, that works too. What's going on? I think I heard screaming.
Oh.
it's okay.
Oh dear.
It's okay.
Oh. How many of you know that you can kill?
Alright.
Two.
Cool.
Okay, before we stop. Okay,
Yeah, that is two. One you smacked
Over my head. Yeah, one you smacked over my head. No idea what you Nothing but lies. And then you
I
attack me
have
with a
multiple
crown.
strength. There's big
Nothing
items
but
over here.
lies,
You wanna
and you attack me with a crown.
do you wanna use your mass fucking muscles to pick something up? Or are you gonna
Everybody saw you attack me with a crown. Nobody saw me throw a vase at your head.
Alright, I'm gonna put some stuff on the. What was that?
Ah Jesus.
I'm gonna put some stuff in on the point.
You gonna help?
I have 1 point. I have 1 health, so I guess I'm good. Let me see. Do I have strength? I don't think I ever had strength. No, I didn't. I never had strength.
Whee!
Yeah, I can't lift it. I don't have strength. Oh. Oh, okay. Let me try moving it.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus, that scared the crap out of me.
And brace it up against the. Yeah.
My, drink water.
Okay. So I'll take
No.
this. I'll take this.
I got the card. I got the
And,
card.
someone
Okay,
push that button.
I'm going my way.
I got the part.
And we got Rika. Oh, I just
Wait, no,
realized.
Alright.
Isn't the box gonna break?
Now it'll be fine.
We're totally fine. We're
It
totally
goes
fine.
around it.
I think it'll be alright.
Not the duck again. Wait, how about you just go like this? You go like this. Yeah, you go, droppy. Oh!
I saw
Go.
that. You fucking- Oh my.
Oh shit!
God, horror, just one time come to me. Behind you.
Oh my god.
Nope.
Oh, that's funny as hell. Oh my god, that was funny as hell.
Invisible guy.
Whoopsie daisy. I knew this would happen, but I was like, you know what? Let's do it. Oops. Alright, let's see.
Oh, is that really all you're gonna take me? Oh, you're out of breath?
Uh-oh.
Little fucking bitch.
Oh, that's much
Bitch
to
ass,
drag.
thanks for taking me to where I
Oh,
need to
thank
fucking
you.
go. Bitch!
Ah, let's go and take a stretch too. Let's stretch my legs. Oh, hi.
Oh, hi. You know what?
Oh, hi. Where's
Did
Cool?
Corn die? I don't know.
Oh, Corn is still alive.
They're just
Last time I
taking a
checked.
sweet time.
I know, right? Oh, I'm just stretching my legs. Oh, that's not.
I swear to God, I'm fucking dying.
Yes, you are. That's why you need to
That's okay.
hydrate. Somebody redeem the hydrate thing for mine.
Nope.
Yes. Spam it.
There's a screamy guy in there.
What screeny guy?
Somebody may have died.
Oh. Oh, that's what you mean. Oh, that must be the Reaper again. Let's see. Oh, oh, I do. I have plenty of points. Let's see. Hydrate. Where is it? Aha, I found it. There it is. Oh.
Yeah, Rika died.
Oh.
Looking for you.
The poor.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of Rika,
Yeah, Rika died. It's alright.
we're ready to go.
Alright.
Just go. Just go.
We have to charge Rika.
Charge up Rika.
Charge up Rico.
Yeah.
Anthem, bro.
Let's go. What are you doing?
Keeping company.
By stepping on her
What else
head.
was I supposed to do? Yeah. How else do you keep
Don't
company?
play hero. Because I'm done playing hero.
What?
I need
Oh,
a hero.
Christ.
I need a hero.
I need a hero.
He's gotta be strong. He's gotta be fast.
One strength.
Guys.
That's a gun.
No.
Hi, I'm Derek Bum, here with new kitchen
With
gun.
no kitchen gun.
Oh, finally strength.
New daddy
Rusty taps.
What? What happened? Oh, I see Rika has
know.
returned.
Company.
I'm done playing hero.
I am done playing hero. I ain't saving your ass again.
Damn. Alright, I'm gonna get a frying pan.
Ugh.
Self-defense.
Just like the carnival. I'm gonna go do some coke in the bathroom.
I know, right?
Can I join you?
Oh my
Can I join you? Is there room for one more?
Oh my.
Fine, fine. You can
Maybe.
share this time, but not next time.
Okay, that's
Oh
fine.
my. Privacy time.
Oh,
Oh no! Just like lockdown protocol. You're the killer. Oh my god. Oh my god. You're here to smack my ass. Oh no.
something like that.
Ooh, ah, ay.
Can't believe you've done this.
Who did that?
Yeah, who would do that, huh?
Who would do that?
New voice pack just dropped. What new voice pack? My own?
What
Yeah.
voice pack?
I don't
The
know.
voice pack?
What voice
Oh,
pack? I know, right?
I didn't drop any voice pack.
I mean, I
you do a
did,
voice
but
pack?
like, I don't know.
No, I was like, did you do a voice pack? And no, I don't remember dropping a voice pack. Did you? No, I don't remember.
No.
Stop
doing that.
Okay, well,
Let me BRB
I
real
didn't
quick.
expect it to do that right at the end.
Oh my
Oh,
god,
wait.
this is probably gonna be the last round that I gotta, because I gotta wake up early.
Yeah, I gotta.
Yeah.
I gotta make this last one. So everybody die on purpose.
No,
No.
I wanna end it off with a bang.
No, I want all of us to die.
Nah,
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Whose 100 pack is this? There's two. I think there's two of them.
just save it. Just
Oh,
there
just
we
wanted to. Oh, I think you have to
How
use
much-
I don't
it.
think you
Okay.
can save it.
No, you can't say. You
go. Okay,
can't.
okay, wait. I have an idea.
Hang on a second, hang on a
Some
second.
bench.
I'm at full.
Somebody
Someone-
give us.
Someone
I'm
take
at
my
full.
grenade, and I'll take it.
Hold on.
Someone take my grenade.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, just give it to Twinkle.
E. You voice pack, you'll see. Oh no.
I was like, is the voice pack that Stan and I were in?
Where's
oh,
the 100 pack?
You'll see. He
Uh,
said you'll see.
Just drop the punch.
Yeah,
Oh.
Oh boy.
Hold on, I'll drop it.
This is level 6.
Oh, what a great
wow,
level to
already?
fail on.
Oh god.
Alright,
Alright,
yeah.
this will be the last one. Make it last.
Last game, everybody.
Let's make it last.
Go on. You want this? This.
Yes, please.
There you go.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Oh, nothing.
If any monsters are here or come out, I'm a monster fucker and I ain't afraid of you.
Oh, just a little bones. Got a bone to pick with you. Oh dear. Hey, Rika's your favorite pit.
Multi.
Oh, yeah, I knew it. We're going on items. Oh. Oh, speaking of that. Oh no, I want to check on the fridge. Ooh, check that out first. Whoa. No, whoa.
I hope it comes with a free Heisenberg.
Jesus. Whoa. Whoa. Here, I'm gonna put this down first, and I'm gonna help you out.
Oh, would you like some help?
No.
Maybe.
Jesus Christ!
Oh, it's nearby. Oh,
Before you break it, it's gonna.
You scared the
Release
shit
the
out of me, Seven, again. Well, what is that?
Oh, it's upstairs. It was, at least.
Is that a baby or something?
Enderman. Oh, something like that.
What? Anyways, let's bring the big thing. Oh,
It's
no.
right there. You bitch.
cheers.
No. Wait, there's a baby. Oh, never mind. They got it.
Thank you for the follow.
Gotta let followers.
I appreciate the support, Seven. Thank you. Oh, yeah.
Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Money.
Money. I will be able to show my true form next week, guys, when I'm streaming again. I'm a little exhausted from like streaming every day this week, but it's worth it. I've been liking streaming lately. What? My. Also, you need to drink water.
It's because I made him do that. I made him do that.
How's water making you burp? Oh, no, wait.
I can force myself to burp.
Alright,
God.
no. Oh, I don't want that.
Guys,
Yeah,
guys, guess what?
yeah.
Simba.
Simba. Oh god, a pocket watch. Chain smokers are y'all chain smokers. Oh wait, you guys can see the chat too.
Man, don't mess with me. My
Whoa, shoot! Get out of here.
dog.
Get out. Whoa, get out of here. Oh, Jesus! What the fuck is that? No, I got you. Oh shit.
Guys, run!
Ow.
No, get it.
No, get it. Two people. Oh, that's better. What happened?
Explosive, guys.
Oh my god.
There was 2 explosive.
Oh.
Oh, the skull thing.
The
Yeah.
pan. Oh, wait a minute. Who got the frying
I'm gonna
pan?
unload some of this.
I bought a
What?
frying.
I'm gonna move some of this. Where the fuck is he? Oh god, Dredge.
Fuck!
No. Just a big asshole. Do a hand. What the fuck? Stop screaming at me, you son of a bitch.
Back it up, no! Back it up, no! Oh my gosh.
No, back it up. This thing has a lot. This thing is a tank.
I'm in danger.
Did it work?
Oh, thank you for a follow. 69 Bruce 69. Okay, I found the extraction point somewhere. It's like below. The extraction point.
Okay,
Where are
it's
you?
right here.
Okay, this way. Okay.
Oh, I found a soul. Oh. Okay, I found a soul.
That's okay. I'm just throwing around the bangers.
Here we go. I got a soul.
I'll take
Whoa.
Let me get it. I'll take the extraction.
Okay.
Here, let's take the big
Look down.
ones. Here, I got you.
Oh my gosh. Careful.
This is bullshit. This is so bullshit. I got strained. Here you go. Oh.
Hold on.
Yeah, what's up?
Okay.
What is that?
Be careful because.
Oh no!
You
back-
bitch!
No, I got it.
Okay, I'll be.
Alright, you take it. I got strained. I'm gonna take the other one. Oh no.
Fuck!
Oh!
Ow.
What's up? Alright, I'm gonna bring the cart over. Fuck this shit.
Well, nothing. I'm just dropping bangers.
Okay, I am just gonna bring the cart over. I don't give a crap.
Just drop it, things. God.
Okay, wait. I'll hold it.
Oh, I got the bomb.
Am I wrong? Am I lying? Am I falsifying?
What are you guys talking about?
Careful. Come on. Rick, I'm sorry for bumming you.
6 feet from me.
Bye.
Maybe.
Bye, come here.
What?
Gonna put this right on top.
Come here.
Oh, my favorite.
Oh, Twinkle, I didn't even notice.
Go to scared food.
I know exactly.
I was gonna get food, not you.
But you told me to go over there, so.
Yeah, I was trying to tell you, like, hey, I have a silly.
There we go.
Well, you shouldn't tell me things
Me.
and expect me to have things go correctly. I ruin everything.
Sad face.
Where the fuck did Twinkle go?
Well,
Hey,
they're right there.
That
He's
was a
right there.
series of
Turn around. I'm
absolute
giving you back shots. I'm giving you back shots. Move.
Alright, let's see. There's a tiny. Someone here. Does anyone here have range? Oh, wait.
Not when I'm. Don't do that when
Oh
I'm not
my
ready.
god. Yeah. Oh my god.
Just protection.
Oh my god.
Haru.
Yeah, what? I
So
heard.
hard.
I heard everything.
You heard
Oh, you
some
did?
of that.
Oh, you
No,
did?
I heard
Haru.
everything. Yes.
Haru. Are you
Yes.
ashamed of us? Are you ashamed of us?
No.
Oh, no answers.
Oh, I forgot
Haru's
the laptop.
And Haru was just like,
No, I can reach
I found porn.
I
found porn.
I can reach it. I got it. I got the hentai.
Put your tongue in here.
Oh, excuse me.
Child.
Okay, no.
Child.
Oh, isn't that the not lucky?
In there.
Or the Rugrat?
Oh hey.
Oh, the emo kid's gone.
careful.
Oh well, somebody found it.
Where is it? Where is it? Oh, I see a golden cup.
Stop.
Here you go. No, I know. Just opening it for you.
Thank
There
you.
you go. Because it closes automatically. Oh,
Wait.
what is going on? Oh god, I hate this. Oh god, we have found another extraction point. Oh my god.
Perfect way to deal with an emo kid.
Oh gosh. What do we have here? What is this place? Oh no.
Sounds like a job for me. You want to take this?
Sure. If you have a bunch of
Oh, heck yeah,
strength.
Batman.
No, it's multiple of us. Oh shit. It's okay. It's okay. We're good. We're totally good. What happened? Oh, I see a small one. Oh, I got you. There you go. I can help you.
Okay. Here.
Oh, someone's behind you, Twinkle. Don't worry.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yep. You are not kidding. Oh, no. Lift it, lift it.
Hang on. That way.
Yeah, it's that way. Oh, whoa. Lift it. Oh, no. Let's lift it. Can somebody help us?
Did you need help? Wait, no, careful. Go.
Batman. Fish of the motherfucker.
Okay. Yeah, let's.
Oh hi, thanks for checking in. I'm still a piece of garbage.
Garbage.
You're a
We
real
have to let it
pizza.
stand.
Real pizza shit.
Alright.
Okay, let me. Okay. Wait, back it. There we go. Okay, now we just gotta back it up.
Oh,
Back it up.
Back it up.
You guys want to
Oh.
stand it up?
Yeah, stand it up. That's what I was thinking, too. Yep, just like
Guys,
that.
I found a tree.
Just put it in
I'm
the
just
cart.
gonna-
It's fine. It's small.
It's a Zen tree.
No,
Nice.
No, we have enough. We have enough.
Yeah, we have more than enough.
put it in.
Oh shit.
I know where the last
Oh shit. Back it up. Back it up.
By
Just
the
back it
way,
up. Just back it up.
Ow.
Just stand it up.
I know where the last extraction point.
Okay.
All right. Just go there. It's all right. We got this.
Oh, yeah. Careful now. Careful.
Careful, small.
Careful.
I will just.
Careful.
Careful.
No,
Careful.
David, like that.
Careful.
Careful.
Careful. Careful.
Like that.
Careful.
Careful.
Oh. Oh. Yes.
Alright,
Careful.
I made
You
it.
were so close.
I know, right?
See the way you're acting?
Alright,
So
take it there.
careful.
Take us there,
Okay,
mine.
I got.
I'm
Follow
right
the
there.
leader.
Okay.
Okay.
Follow my.
Okay. Wait.
Why? Where you go?
Cart.
Oh, there you are. Yeah.
I'll put in the cart.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Sorry. Oh, I forgot.
Oh, what? Wait.
I see.
I didn't
You
even
did.
put it in yet.
You did that on purpose.
I did nothing on purpose. This way. This way.
Come on.
Careful.
And, alright. Alright.
Okay.
Alright.
Over here.
Sassy lady.
Oh.
This way, over here.
Oh,
Other side.
This is why I don't want to give you bad advice.
No, I saw.
said
No. I saw mine go that way. I saw mine go that way, so I thought 5 steps.
Oh.
Stay.
Stay.
Uh-oh.
Little bitch.
Little bitch. Don't talk about
Yeah, there's
Twinkle like
a
that.
little.
Easy.
Oh.
Few people can call me that.
Oh. I thought Twinkle
Oh, I thought so too.
That's correct.
Baru and I just had a fucking heart attack. Like.
Oh no. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Wait.
wait. Just wait. Just wait. All right.
The baker!
Oh god, no.
Oh my gosh, I'm scared.
Drop the banger down here.
As long as they're not around.
Okay, never mind.
All right.
Alright.
Come on, this way.
Alright.
Do you want me to carry the big one across?
You sure?
Yeah, I got it.
Alright. I'll take. Okay.
Oh, alright.
You go first. You go first. Okay. Alright.
You're good. You're good.
Good.
You're
Hi,
good.
Tay, I saw.
You're good.
Good.
You're good. You're good.
Oh, you're not good. Behind
Behind
you.
ya.
Oh, fuck.
Right.
Damn it.
That son of a bitch.
Oh, also, Tech is in chat.
Oh, it's Tay. The friend else
Hey,
Tay.
sorry.
That's okay. Hi, Tay.
I thought I saw the
well,
D. I thought I saw the D.
back.
So,
This
Heck,
one's
sorry.
mine.
Well, all good.
Oh, right.
And
My
I'm just gonna
output is down, so that's why I cannot hear Tay.
here.
Tay, could you type for
Watch
us? Because my
TV
output is down.
while I
Little
steal
accent, huh?
stuff. Why do you always have to be so fucking difficult with me?
Okay, everybody's
You know what time it is?
time for you to go
I think it's
watch.
time for another angry pick.
Oh my god.
Hey, every angry piss gives us a raid. Ow! Son of a crap!
Ouch. Sorry, Tay. But thank you for stopping by. Please go to sleep. But there will be the May 11th one. So we cannot wait. We hope you could become over. Oh, it's gonna go my hand. Alright, let's see who else. Oh, yeah, cool one's alive. Angry
Thank you
Fist.
for the
That's fun. Oh, there you are.
Go. I thought I almost died.
Don't
actually.
handle them yet.
Oh, excuse
Huh?
me. Ugh. Perfect.
Location.
Oh no.
Motherfucker.
No, you're good. You're good.
Don't feel
Bring it
bad
back,
for.
bring it back, bring it
Yeah,
back.
just
enjoy-
make sure you go
enjoy.
sleep.
Yeah.
Accident click. Oh,
Wait,
that's
how much
okay.
was it?
Oh, that happens so much.
Oh, we're good. We got 31.
Okay.
Oh, no problem. Oh, no
Was that
worries. That
everything?
happens so much.
I'm not
I got
sure.
Haru's head.
See, Rika's
I
head
don't
too.
know my
And mine's like angry fist.
Come on, bitch.
You goddamn right.
Angry fist. I had to increase.
You goddamn right. You goddamn right.
Angry
You
fist.
goddamn. Yes, angry pissed.
Alright.
Completely just angry pissed.
Waterfall.
Every
Alright.
angry pet,
I saw it over there.
you know, every angry pest one gets wings.
What?
I don't know. I don't know.
I think Proximity Chat was like cutting you. Oh, never mind. I don't think mine's around. Here it is. Alright, mine's
I
not
was
around.
pissing on the moon.
Yeah, you might as well just take another angry fist.
Why is that?
in the afterlife.
Oh, everyone.
Dude, do you guys know where mine died?
Wait, no, Rika, no.
Damn, there are kids behind us.
I wouldn't go in there.
Yeah.
Don't go the other way. Never mind. Can't be slow.
I fucked your mom last night.
Rika!
She calls me daddy now.
Gotta get your humor up whenever you're with your chaotic friends. Two of them, what the fuck? Oh my god. I need to take an angry piss after this. Oh no.
No.
Oh my god. Are there actually 3 of them? Fuck. Well, these guys are on their own. Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Let's go.
Fuck this shit, we're out. There's 3 of them. There's 3 of them. I saw
Yeah.
2 or 3. Game Witcher just went to another one.
Another one.
Hell yeah.
Bye, Mai.
Get the
Take your.
Sorry, Mike.
fuck out of here.
Oh, really?
When you try on
I'm taking an angry piss after this.
I'm taking a full-blown angry sleep.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, angry sleep is.
every
good.
sleep I have is angry.
I
His anger.
Why'd you get blue?
Oh.
Blue.
Peanut butter jelly, peanut butter jelly, peanut butter
What?
jelly with a baseball bat. Peanut butter jelly, peanut butter jelly with a baseball bat. Yeah.
Wait.
Where you at? Where you at? There you go.
Oh,
There you go.
Rika.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
My
You
baseball
just killed
bat.
yourself.
No strength upgrades. I'll set this one out.
Oh wait a minute. This is our. Okay, going out with a bang, huh? Okay.
Maybe a little bit.
Look, guys, this is our last game. Everybody should be alive to hear this. Where's Twinkle?
I'm hiding.
Why are you hiding? Okay.
I need to stay safe. Everyone out there is dangerous.
No, Maya's the most dangerous. I know. Low enough on the spot. Hey, why aren't you sleeping? But alright, everybody, if you can hear this, thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much.
Hey,
What else?
Haru.
No. What else? What else is there? Well, What a great ending as this was. So... Wait, what? Well, guess there's another thing to do. Where is the gun? Let's see. Here's one.
Yay!
One of us.
Oh, my favorite part.
Did we actually reset?
My favorite. Oh wait.
No? What?
Oh, we
Doesn't
fucked
happen.
up.
Oh well, at least we're saving money.
If you all
Oh, it's because we had I guess because we had extra money. Hang on.
Oh.
Oh, it's because we had a bunch of money.
Wait, everybody.
Oh, okay.
We all have to go to sleep. I have to go to sleep too.
Yeah.
Could we just all just like off ourselves?
No.
Can we all just
No.
off ourselves?
No, there's so much progress. We can offer something.
Oh.
What?
Well, I did it first.
Oh yeah, we can self-destruct. Bye.
But why do you really want to do that?
Bye.
Bye.
I mean, why not? Bye.
Why
Oh my. So rich you can afford that. Why not?
Right now. Alright, y'all. Let me put it to y'all like this. By the eye of Mama. Webo. Oh.
Oh. That's what you're saying.
That was mildly anticlimactic.
Why not?
Best part.
More
My
violent.
face.
Whatever. It's
Now,
gonna get too
now
hard.
it's for the best part.
Hey guys,
Yes.
this is not personal.
Oh.
This
Oh,
is just
yeah,
business.
So that's why.
It feels
Shut
personal.
up! Every time I keep hearing it's just business.
Give me that.
Shit!
Quick, push him off. Oh,
I got a gun.
hey, you know what? This is the best ending we can ever offer. Oh shit. No. Oh, frying pan.
Ooh.
Hiya! Oh, fuck.
You know what?
Second place, bitch.
Batter up!
I'm
Batter
sorry.
up!
Frying pan. I'm Princess Peach. Wait, where the what? Oh
Batter
no!
Fucker! God damn it!
God damn it!
Tried so hard.
Damn!
Oh my god, it's the VHS tape.
God damn it! The Hispanic one. Damn it!
This is my perfect victory!
Fuck you, man! Fuck you! Oh,
Alright.
disgusting butt.
God damn it.
Yeah.
I said batter up to all of y'all. Y'all took it.
Fuck you. That's all I'm gonna say. Well, that was great. That was a good ending, actually.
I'm calling it
How
a
about-
night.
Me too.
How about that? How about that baseball game? Huh? I'm kidding.
Well, we're gonna. It's okay. At least the slot will be
Baseball
still
game,
there.
huh?
Will be-
Oh my gosh,
okay.
that was.
I'm not
getting any more
sleep. Well,
Me
I
too.
have sleep.
Oh,
Honestly, I'm probably gonna-
tired.
I'm probably gonna go raid my my friend Harper.
Okay.
okay,
Me on
okay.
Harper's streaming, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and stream.
I'm gonna go write some smut and we'll see what
Send them over
Okay.
there.
I want to write
Uh,
smut.
Just go to sleep first.
Just go.
Alright,
No,
send
no,
me-
no. The best smut is when you're fucking sleepy as fuck. I love
Okay,
it. I'm-
all
But, like-
right.
Everybody, please go to
Alright.
sleep.
I appreciate it, everybody. Thank you so much.
Go the
Okay,
fuck.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Okay.
Good
Night.
night. Bye.
Bye.
Oh wait, I should say. Alright, I'm gonna mute for a bit. Are you muted? Or we just don't know your voice yet? I don't think you know my voice yet. It's actually here. This is what I sound like. I'm muted on Discord. If you watch my VODs, then you'll know my real voice. That is you. Yep, that's me. You surprised? Thank you. A lot of I get those kind of reactions. It's actually pretty low, and I'm just tired as fuck right now. It's very late, but this was the last minute thing. It's the best thing, best night ever. Playing Repo with chaotic friends, and yeah, MILF Latina. Yeah, everybody says I sound like a MILF, but I'm not Latina. But I'm not Latina. I got like people saying that I sound like a European. Like God maniac. Oh bunny, my bad. Okay, pretty much fair warning. I'm so bad with like trying to put like the pronouns. Okay, let me go to just chatting. There we go. Oh, there's a like up there. That's fine. There we go. Still spastic though, still spastic. Oh, this is not my true form. I'm using this model for fun. Remember gently each time if you're okay with that. No, I'm okay with that. Of course I am. I don't mind. Let's see. It's very late. It's just very late on my side. But next time, let's do it in the afternoon and not in the not not at night. So I kind of knew that this would happen. Neon Harper. Okay. Might as well not raid, but hopefully we'll be able to do that next time. Just let me know what works for you or last minute plan of like during the weekdays is okay. I don't have much this week. I will be resting after this and take an angry piss. You're free tomorrow. Okay, are you free tomorrow? Stream has got ruined, so okay, let's talk about it on DM then. Cause I'm pretty okay usually at night. But the Saturday is a little slightly earlier. Aw, it's okay. Focus on raiding on. I'm probably not gonna raid tonight. Yeah, I'm definitely not gonna raid tonight. I know there's most people I already raided. Oh, excuse me. Alright, I gotta get back to my friends. But we'll talk about it more on DMs. And, just a fair warning, I am so bad with pronouns. I don't have a lot of non-binary friends, and people who use they and them for pronouns. If I just do misgender you, I'm so sorry. Like, giving you the wrong pronouns if you go for by they and them. So don't worry, I respect that. I'm just really bad at like remembering the pronouns. So do let me know. It's okay, just remind me. Okay? And I'm gonna go ahead and just rest up and get back to my old form. My true form later streams. Alright, you guys have a good night and not God. I'm sorry. I'm so used to it. Bunny. Go back to sleep. And get ready for tomorrow. Okay, hopefully tomorrow we'll be able to do it. You can call me God too. I want to call you Bunny, it's cuter. Alright. Thank you all so much for watching. Good night, everybody. Thank you. And thank you, Seven, for the clips. Thank you so much. Going back and forth from Rika and mine. Thank you so much. We both really appreciate your time and your eyes. Thank you. Alright, thank you so much, everybody. I'll see you maybe tomorrow. Bye bye.